Hi, I'm Danielle Watts, a graduate student in the Forest Hydrology Lab at the University of Florida. In our lab, we study the hydrologic and biologic processes occurring within wetlands and watersheds in an effort to improve water management. Today, I'd like to introduce you to the Everglades. Much of South Florida, south of Lake Okeechobee, is a single large drainage basin that includes the Everglades, the Big Cypress Basin, Shark River Slough, and the salt marshes and mangrove swamps of the coastal zone. Historically, its hydrology had seasonal rainfall with great sheets of shallow water moving slowly south over a uniquely flat landscape. The central portion of the Everglades is largely a mosaic of ridges and sloughs, where sawgrass ridges are oriented parallel to the water flow. These ridges and sloughs create a visual landscape pattern of which we are only beginning to understand. So, what do I mean by patterned? We have found the ridge-slough pattern in the Everglades reflects the pattern in the elevation of the underlying peat. When decomposition of plant material is slow because of the presence of water, dead leaves and other organic matter builds in the soil. Peat develops when decomposition is so slow that the soil is made up entirely of partially decomposed organic matter. In the Everglades, we found that ridges occur where the peat is higher in elevation than the sloughs are. The construction of canals and levees to control water flow has changed the hydrology of the Everglades. We found that where the landscape has been drained, peat elevation differences have been lost, and so have the slough communities. Similarly, where levees have impounded the water, ridges have been drowned, and the landscape pattern has changed. So why are the Everglades patterned? There are two hypotheses. The first involves the movement of peat material from sloughs onto ridges. We have looked for signatures of this movement in the ridge and slough peat and have found no clear evidence of it. Also, other research has suggested that the velocity of water moving through the Everglades is far too slow to move particles in the water column. The second hypothesis suggests that all the water on the landscape limits the extent of sawgrass. Sawgrass is more productive and can therefore lay more peat down each year than can the slough community. As ridges expand, the higher peat pushes the water from the sloughs back over the ridges. Since sawgrass prefers shallower water, it stops expanding laterally when it starts drowning. We believe the result, over a very long time period, is the pattern we see today. Our current research evaluates this hypothesis. Knowing which ecosystem variable led to pattern development is important for restoring the Everglades. We cannot know what to restore until we know what was lost.